Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Good news, the rain is held off, and we are ready for baseball in the Bronx as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the Orioles in the third game of a four-game set at Yankee Stadium. Hey everybody, Ryan Ruocco alongside Paul O'Neill. So happy to be with you for Yankees baseball on Yes on this Tuesday night. We saw yesterday the Yankees sweep a doubleheader, and Gleyber Torres did what he has done a lot this season, and that's torment not just the Orioles, but also Gary Thorne.
I don't know. Goodbye home run. I mean, he is just unstoppable, and it's all home runs against the Orioles. Yeah. I don't even know. Goodbye home run. You gotta be kidding me. Goodbye home run. Get out of here. Get out of here. Paul O'Neill is giving me a hard time. Go back to your own booth.
Well, Paul, you decided to be Gleyber's accomplice there in the booth to Gary, huh?
Gary's amazing. And what else can you do but be amazed at what Torres has done against? I mean, the Orioles, it has been ridiculous, but it is a lot of fun.
It's just incredible. I mean, Paul, when you watch him hit, what stands out to you?
Well, obviously his powers was standing out, but his ability to use the whole field, his ability to kind of change within an at-bat depending on if he needs to drive a run in or drive a ball out of the ballpark. You shouldn't be able to do that at 22 years old.
Well, we'll see what else he has in store for tonight. Let's take a look, though, at the pitching matchup. It's brought to you by People's United Bank. John Means was an all-star this year, the left-hander for the Orioles. Domingo Germán, 15-2, goes for the Yankees. Well, the Yankees have a young electric arm back in their bullpen. Jonathan Loaisiga is here. Our Meredith Marakovits talks with Aaron Boone about Loaisiga next here on Yes. The Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Kia. Hurry into Kia's summer clearance event going on now. Learn more at KiaDealers.com. By People's United Bank, checking without curveballs, member FDIC. By Papa John's, get any large pizza with any toppings for just $12. And by the New York Lottery, get out there and play. Well, the rain is held off, and we are getting ready for baseball in the Bronx as we take a look at the Orioles starting lineup brought to you by Lexus. It's VR, Mancini, and Santander, the beginning three for Baltimore. Then Renato Nunez bats cleanup, Jace Peterson, Hanser Alberto. Chance Sisco catches and hits seventh. Stevie Wilkerson and Rio Ruiz round out the Orioles starting lineup. And they will face Domingo Germán. 15-2, a 4.05 ERA as we check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your local Honda dealers.
Well, Sweet 16, he is tied with the lead with Verlander at 15. Has an opportunity to be the winningest pitcher in the major leagues. 2.19 ERA at home, second best in the AL. And he starts off with a 93 right there. And 3 for 3 sounds like a Gleyber Torres night. No? 3 for 3. He's won all 3 starts against the Orioles this year.
Yankees coming off a doubleheader sweep of Baltimore yesterday. They'll have one more game with the Orioles tomorrow, a day game, before welcoming in the Indians for a 4-game set this weekend as VR taps that foul.
It seemed like a long day today before we came to the ballpark after getting here. Yeah, like we're just doing an easy little couple inning game.
Right, like one game at night. That's nothing. Yesterday we were all firmly entrenched at the stadium. Paul brought basically like a suitcase full of options depending on how long the first game went.
You got to have options.
Yeah,
that's right.
There were workout clothes. There were snacks.
Yeah, the snacks went over much better than workout clothes. What a day, though, if you look at that. Home runs, sweeps, I mean, all kinds of stuff, good stuff happened.
You attacking Gary Thorne. I mean, it really had it all.
He was waiting for me in the hallway today.
Swing and a miss. VR down on strikes. One away as we take a look at the Yankees defense presented by Geico. Maven, Tauchman, and Judge across the outfield. Urshela and Gregorius on the left side. Torres and LeMahieu on the right side. And Austin Romine catches Domingo Germán.
Domingo Germán, you know about his curveball. A good strikeout. Start the game on a fastball. Mancini, the guy that you need to be careful of. 29 home runs, and he's hit 2 of them yesterday, 1 in each game. You talk about Torres being unbelievable against Baltimore. Well, Mancini has 8 home runs against the Yankees, which isn't too shabby himself.
He has been fantastic against the Yankees. Tied with J.D. Martinez for the most home runs against the Yankees this season. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Diving to try and nip that curve. He could not, and 2 strikeouts to begin things for Germán.
Yeah, this is what you're used to seeing. Watch this ball. See, it's on the outside corner right there, and then it ends up in the outside in the batter's box. That's the way the hitter rolls. That's the way he reads it. Germán has so much success. The guy's chasing outside the strike zone.
He has the 4th most strikeouts on curveballs in the majors. A list that is led by Charlie Morton. And a swing and a miss on another curve. Santander was out in front. Popped up off third. Does Urshela have a play? You bet he does. Inning over. An 11-pitch 1-2-3 first for Domingo Germán. The Yankees coming to bat. LeMachine leading off, then it's Judge and Urshela 2 and 3. Gary Sanchez DHing and batting cleanup. Then it's Torres, Gregorius, Maven, Austin Romine, and Mike Tauchman rounding out the Yankees starting lineup. John Means on the mound for the Orioles, 8-7, a 3.36 ERA as we check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your local Honda dealers.
Well, you again. Yeah, he faced the Yankees last Wednesday and got the loss in Baltimore. He's been in a slump. He was their all-star before the break, a 2.5 ERA after the break, well over 7. So it's been a tale of 2 seasons. And fastball changeup guy. A lot of fastballs, 50%. Another 30% changeup. Then he'll mix in a little slider. And he used a lot more changeups last time out. See if he continues with that.
And he looked good early last time out against the Yankees before they really started to touch him up in the 4th inning. LeMahieu swings at the first pitch and hammers it. Yep, it's gone. 1 pitch, 1 run, another Yankees homer against Baltimore.
I feel like going down to the booth already. I mean, even Stanton's it's catching his attention. He's got to know what he's missing here. But LeMahieu, you expect him to hit it hard. Not always a home run, but hit it hard. You talk about shell shock. First pitch, 1-0.
They call that the ambush.
Well, there's a fastball supposed to be away. Don't get it away. It goes far.
That is the 60th home run the Yankees have hit against the Orioles this year.
That's all. It's not a lot if you say it fast.
Right, exactly. 60.
You know, it's always funny. David Cone always stresses you got to know the guys in the league that will give you that first pitch strike. And obviously, LeMahieu, not one of them.
If they thought he was, going to have to update that scouting report. Judge smacks that, but right to third. Ruiz will throw him out. One down as we take a look at the Orioles defense presented by Geico. Peterson, Wilkerson, and Santander in the outfield. Ruiz and VR on the left side. Alberto and Nunez on the right, and Chance Sisco catches John Means. By the way, that ball from LeMahieu, 446 feet.
Like, who's even counting anymore? I mean, they're just launching balls.
Speaking of.
Yeah, Urshela, what was it, 461?
Yeah.
That was a bomb.
By the way, Judge just hit that ground out 115.3 miles per hour.
Yeah, not elevated, but hit hard. And Aaron Judge, you keep stressing, you know, you've got to stay patient. He's having good at bats. He's having good swings. All of a sudden, you know, jump on the bandwagon. You're not hitting home runs. Well, they could come, but they come with good swings from Aaron Judge.
Let's check out StatCast AI powered by AWS on LeMahieu. 110.5 off the bat. And 446 feet to that fan in the faded purple shirt. And already, you know, Paul, nice catch by a fan. You had them on notice yesterday. They've gotten off to a good start today.
Definitely coming with their A game lately. That's good. Kids coming to the ballpark with their gloves.
Urshela flies that deep to right. Santander has room on the track to make the catch. 2 down. We'll take a look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. What do you got for us, Paul?
It's a bit iffy, but I think we're going to catch a break. A little muggy out, no wind, and I'm just going to erase that because we're not going to have the possible showers.
I love your optimism.
I'm kind of the glass half full tonight.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Burgundy half full.
There you go. You got to go there.
Two out, nobody on. Sanchez. Aaron Boone again today just stressed. You know what he's seen from Gary. He's like the swings, but he just needs to control the strike zone. But he gets himself into trouble, as we've seen these first few games back, is leaving the zone.
Gary Sanchez, if you'll watch him every single day, there'll be times where he goes through a period where he doesn't hit home runs. And you know that he feels it because he starts opening up a little bit. He starts getting a little long, and that compounds things. Because he has the ability to drive the ball all over the ballpark when he doesn't get in that mode where he wants to pull the baseball.
The 1-2. Sanchez stays alive. A lot of times, Marcus Timms and Aaron Boone will use the phrase chasing results. When all of a sudden Gary goes through one of those periods you're talking about, Paul, and you know he starts to try and make it all up in one at bat or one swing.
It's very hard, and it compounds in your mind, and then it becomes you just try to force it.
Looping liner to short is grabbed by VR, and that ends the inning. The Yankees get a run on the first pitch of the game to DJ LeMahieu. High, deep, far, and 446 feet away. This Yankee fans, they both have a shot, especially DJ. And with the way Gio is going now, anything could happen. Follow Yes Network. Tweet us your responses using the hashtag Yankees Prius Prime to keep the conversation going.
Didn't we talk about that yesterday, Ryan? We brought up our own little question here.
We did. You know, I think we could safely say we inspired the Toyota question today. Yeah. Now, the caveat to that is something we also discussed yesterday, and it's the unlikelihood of Gio qualifying. He needs 502 plate appearances, which would be really hard for him to hit if he has any days off the rest of the way. But it would be fun.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
If he qualified, he'd be second right now. So far, Gio has 352 plate appearances this year. With a minimum of 300 at-bats, Gio is in fact second.
Yeah, Alberto there on the list. He's actually third in the league now. He came up after that big doubleheader yesterday and jumped over Devers from Boston to be in third place.
Needed 5 hits between the 2 games. That's smoked foul.
Ooh. You know what? It's hit hard when the ball boy doesn't even react till it's like by him. That's not a good thing. The hot left field corner out there.
That's right. Got to be on your toes over there. Swing and a miss. Strong start for Germán. He's fanned 3 of the first 4.
Well, you look at the Orioles and the type of hitters they are, and they've got some good hitters in this lineup, but fastball hitters, young hitters, you can expand the zone. And that is what Germán does extremely well.
You know, speaking of the batting title and the Toyota question, recently was talking with DJ LeMahieu, and he said when he went through his batting title in Colorado, said he'd come in every day and reporters would ask him, you know, are you thinking about it? Are you going for this? And he kept saying, no, I'm really not. I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to do my thing. And he said, oh, I was thinking about it every single day. I was going up looking at Daniel Murphy, his batting average.
I mean, there's no way about it, and it's a shame. But I understand it's the press's job. They have to report these things. But as a player, you don't want to think about it. You don't want to talk about it because all the wheels in your mind start going. And when you think too much, we talked about it, you don't hit well.
It's lying to right center. Judge is there. 2 down.
You know, some of us have less wheels in our mind than others. You know that? You ever have a conversation? You know, in sports, I could look across the field, you know, and see A-Rod or Barry Bonds and just, you know what? You're just better than I am. That's just the way it is.
You got more wheels in there?
No, but then every once in a while now, when you're away from baseball, you're having a conversation with, you know, somebody that's in this big company. All of a sudden, it appears to me, it's like, you know what? You're just smarter than I am. You know? You just go on to a different part of life.
I know what you mean. The important thing is just to recognize it, right?
Hey, you can accept some things, you're better off,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Way out in front. Germán has looked sharp thus far. It's 1-2. Infield pretty much straight away for Alberto, who has proven he can hit to all fields. And right there does. Lines that one to left. May have been trying to cut it off, knocks it down. Alberto's going for 2, and he's in there with a double.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you've watched this series and the at-bats that Alberto has put together, I mean, he looks like he has an opportunity to fight for a batting title. I mean, he hits the ball hard. He uses the whole field. Much called like a bad ball hitter. I mean, that ball wasn't even a strike.
Over 3 years with Texas, he hit just 192, a 440 OPS. You see what he's done to the Yankees this year. He's hitting 420 against them. And that's coming into tonight before that double. Now, the Orioles are going through this season wondering who could be part of their future solution. And Santander has emerged as a guy who maybe could be an answer. And now they certainly are wondering about Hanser Alberto. Could he be a part of the solution moving forward? Oh, and 2.
Yeah, 28 pitches, 23 strikes at this point. So Germán obviously good feel for his pitches tonight.
The 0-2. And just holding up was Cisco. Alberto leads off second. 2 out, top of the second. The 1-2. Popped up, left side. Urshela drifting into shallow left and makes the catch to end the inning. Get ready, Gary. Gleyber is coming to the dish. Already with 13 long balls against Baltimore this year. He's up next. Orioles this season games, a .414 batting average, 13 homers, 20 ribbies, 20 runs, an atmospheric 1623 OPS, most homers in a season all time against the Orioles.
I'm actually rooting for Gary Sanchez too, you know, because if he goes deep tonight or tomorrow, that would be 2 players with 10 plus. And that hasn't happened since Ruth and Gehrig. How's that for a little nugget there?
Look at you. You know, you're preemptive with the Nuggets now. It's a thing of beauty.
Well, the thing is, though, when you read these things and then you see Ruth and Gehrig, it just like it sticks in your mind.
1-1 on Torres.
It's caught on one of those wheels I was talking about. Bring it right back.
Sanchez 0 for 1 so far tonight. Only one player has hit more than 13 home runs against the team in a season. That was Lou Gehrig back in 1936 against Cleveland. The 3-1. And Torres works the leadoff walk.
That's a very good at bat. I mean, he reads the papers, he hears all the things, and you know, he goes up there and takes some pitches off the plate instead of trying to expand it and make things happen.
Here's Didi Gregorius.
With all the fireworks yesterday with Urshela and Torres, you forgot Didi had a big 3-run homer in the first inning yesterday.
Got things started.
Mm-hmm.
He is mashed against the Orioles in his career.
Right in his wheelhouse right there. Kind of a hanging breaking ball in the inner half part of the plate. A lot of times, obviously, breaking a good breaking ball from a lefty, tough pitch, but the ones that spin like that and just stay right there. Ooh. Whoa.
Didi shows bunt, and it's going to kick foul. That's one way to deal with the shift, though.
Kind of a drag bunt effort there, you know, definitely for a base hit. But, you know, if you're going to give away a strike on as much room as you have here, you can almost turn around and just sacrifice it. You know, Didi has good enough wheels. So never got the bat head out in front of the plate.
Didi has a 15-game hitting streak against Baltimore. Over his last 34 games against the Orioles, he's hitting .381.
It's kind of a sad shot right there. You know why? Because it's 7:30 and it's starting to get dark already, you know?
Yeah. Gregorius rips that to right field, a base hit. That'll skip to the wall. Racing into third is Torres. He's going to hang right there. It's a double for Didi Gregorius, and the Yankees are set up second and third, nobody out.
Well, again, not much of an advantage being a lefty against Didi. He's absolutely crushed him the past few years. Another slider, another one he doesn't miss. It just kind of hangs right there. Two-strike swing, much more level, and just hammers it to right field.
Gary Sanchez taking Phil Nevin's job. Second and third, nobody out. Maben 1-1. Aaron Boone was just glowing about the contributions of Maben last night and was noticeably animated just talking about Maben and his influence on the room and how well he fits in with this group, how important he's been.
Had such a wonderful story yesterday, and it's kind of stuck with me all day about his mother, Nene.
Yeah, yep.
Here that she watches and she is cancer-free now. What a beautiful story that was yesterday.
Awesome. Meredith Marakovitz informing us of that news yesterday. The 2-1. Pop towards the Yankee dugout, foul, and into the dugout.
You see a lot of guys over there covering up, and it's not because they feel like they're going to get hit with the ball coming down. It's just when it hits the dugout, it can do a lot of things. It can bounce off the ceiling at you, and the next thing you know, you're getting conked in the head. See, everybody could judge a fly ball over there, but see, when it goes in the dugout, then everybody's covering up.
You wouldn't know they catch baseballs for a living, yeah. And it's 3-2 on Maben with Austin Romine on deck. The Yankees have won 14 straight against Baltimore. And off to a good start so far here, looking for 15. The 3-2. Maben lines a base hit to right center field. Torres will score. Here comes Gregorius. He will score. It's a 2-run single for Cameron Maben, and the Yankees have an early 3-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, this is becoming contagious. You see guys making adjustments with 2 strikes, hitting the ball the other way. I mean, these are beautiful at-bats. Everything stays square. Ball's not trying to be pulled, just driving a couple runs the other way. Great piece of hitting.
Maben hitting .316 on the season now. And Cisco will go out and talk with John Means.
Doug Brocail, pitching coach out there, ex-Tiger. I remember facing him years ago.
How'd you do against him?
I remember hitting a homer off of him one night. That's the only one you remember. I probably punched out a few too.
Check swing. That'll make the seats. 1 for 3 with a homer versus Brocail in a 3-run shot, Paul.
I think it was the only home run I hit in the new Tiger Stadium.
Really?
Yeah. Comerica, is that?
Yeah, that's right. Well, especially, you know, you were there before they moved the walls in a little bit.
What are you trying to say?
Well, no, I mean, I understand how it came
When
out.
did they do that? Like 1972? Is that what you're saying?
Way back when it was when Paul used to play Yankee Stadium with the monuments out in center field.
Yeah, all right, hot rod.
Ooh, Romine fouls that one off his left leg.
You know, you worry about most hitters, but when it's a catcher, it's just like, all right, he's got another bump and a bruise. But I tell you what, you see a little cutter in there, fouled right off his shin bone. You wouldn't believe what some of those look like after a game. I mean, literally a softball-sized lump on your on the bone of your leg. It's not supposed to look like that.
Ooh, you see the stitching ever sometimes too?
You actually do. The little red mark where the stitches were. Oh, these are great memories.
Romine slaps a single to left field. And the Yankee offense already going full tilt here against the Orioles. It's first and second, nobody out with 2 already in.
Off-speed pitch. He stays through it, out in front, but it's staying through the ball. Enables him to line it into left field. And the Yankees, boy, they're just putting one good at bat after another. You see the ball tailing away. Stays with it. Yeah, if you come off that ball at all, you have a tendency to just roll it over to the shortstop.
Here is Tauchman. Well, Aaron Boone wanted both those right-handed bats in the lineup. Maben and Romine. Sanchez is DHing as a result so far. Certainly worked out. Maben at second after a 2-run single and Romine at first. Yankees playing with a 2-man bench today. Just Ford and Gardner are on it. Although Aaron Boone said expect that to change sometime soon. Just needed some coverage when it comes to the bullpen. The 2-0 on the outside corner, 2-1.
Absolutely no traffic today. It was unbelievable. So I got here a little bit earlier, right?
Yeah.
Walk up in the
I noticed that.
Nobody was here. I thought I had missed a day game or something. And I'm sitting here and I noticed one guy out on the field, Mike Tauchman, out there practicing some throws in center field. Probably hadn't been out there recently. It was you know, those are the times you miss as a player, you know, preparing for the game, getting ready. But Tauchman was out there by himself with a coach, just, you know, taking some fly balls, making throws into the bases. Impressive stuff.
I was talking with him today, and he was talking about the emotion he shows. And he was going through his journey. He's like, I don't take this for granted.
Right.
Talkman grounds that towards the middle, could be 2, and is, as Maben goes to third. You know, he was talking about being a junior in college, and he said, no, I wasn't drafted. No, I went through the minor leagues, and I wasn't a guy who was being looked at instantly. I incrementally got better, and then when I got to AAA, I, started having success, and I'd go to the majors, and, I couldn't. And I'm thinking, there can't be this big of a gap between what I'm doing in AAA and the way I'm failing in the majors. And he said, so now that I'm here and a part of this and getting to contribute, I'm enjoying every second of it.
Nice. LeMahieu homered his first time up on the first pitch of the bottom of the first. LeMahieu cuts and misses, and that ends the inning with the Yankees add 2 more, courtesy of Cameron Maben's 2-run single. It's 3-0 after 2. Mr. Joe Torre in to have you, Joe.
Thanks, Ryan. That's nice being here. I'll tell you, the game looks pretty easy from up here.
It looks easy, really easy here, and especially the way the Yankees are playing against the Orioles. It looks. We were talking about it last night. They're making it look extremely easy to win.
It's a far cry from when I was sitting in the dugout and had this guy grumble on the way by.
You always had Zim tell me the mean things. You always tell me the nice things.
Those grumbles sometimes would come after, a pop-out when he had been 3 for 3, his previous 3 at-bats, too.
He was hungry, and I loved it. I mean, I remember when I first took over, I forgot who told me. I wouldn't tell you anyway, but said Paul O'Neill's a selfish player. And then I said, well, let me see. I'd like to judge for myself. And all of a sudden you realize he wanted to get a hit every time up. I'll take that selfishness every day of the week.
Joe, you and your wife, Allie, are at the stadium tonight. The Joe Torre Safe at Home Foundation Awareness Night. I know, you guys have done such great work with this since 2002. How important is this night to you?
Well, it's really heartwarming for me. The Yankees allowed us to have this and show our PSA up on the board before the game, and we know we're proud of the work we do. We've had the Safe at Home Foundation since 2002, and what we do is we put safe rooms in schools for kids that are dealing with abuse and trauma, and named after my mom, Margaret, because I came from that home where my dad was abusive to my mom, and it was, as I say, it's very heartwarming. We've had since 2005, we've had close to 100,000 kids come through our program, and
wow.
And we know it works. I mean, it's intervention and prevention, and you don't cure anything. These kids still have to go home, but they have tools now to deal with their problems, and the fact that when they leave our program, they have a whole lot more self-esteem than when they came in.
Make sure you go to joetorre.org to learn more. I mean, Joe, what has been the common denominator that you see throughout the years when you're dealing with these kids and as they go through your guys' program?
Well, a lot of shyness. I grew up, as I said, witnessing what went on in my home, and I'm the youngest of 5 children. I was very really shy and had low self-esteem even through my baseball career. If I didn't get any hits and we lost the ball game, I felt that I was personally responsible for our losing. So I carried it through my playing career, and
sounds like you had a lot of fun too, huh?
Oh yeah. It was I certainly had a lot more fun. And once I found out that what my dad was doing in our to my mom, that caused me to be this kid that was very to himself and really never shared anything. And once I found out through basically counseling that my dad's fear that he brought on the house caused it, then I was free to talk about it, and it really was rewarding for me. And now to watch all these kids just benefit from what we do over there.
Yeah, you guys are doing unbelievable work. The Safe at Home Foundation. Head to joetorre.org to learn more. I mean, Joe, you stewarded so many championship teams here in the Bronx. Obviously, that's what this group is hoping for here in 2019, and they've had a special regular season thus far. When you were going through those regular seasons, were there moments where you knew, you know what, we're going to do it this year? Like, did it take through October, or could you tell early if you guys had it or did not have it?
Well, you knew the 96 club, and I think Paul, can chime in on this. We weren't the favorites. We may not have been the best team, but we certainly had something in reserve all the time to win the games we had to win and beat the teams we had to beat. I mean, we beat Baltimore, I think, every single game in Baltimore. We beat Cleveland every single game in Cleveland, which was not easy to do with the teams they put on the field. And it looked like we were falling back into the pack, and then we'd go on a little bit of a run, and it was special. And you knew they were special, but you also knew that a game or two could turn the momentum, and so you really always had to have your foot on the gas, and these guys were very aggressive, and they were fearless. When we didn't win in '97, and pretty much our year ended with Paul O'Neill. Did I pinch run for you or not?
Yeah, you took
I
me
did
out.
pinch run.
You had enough.
Yeah, I had seen enough. He hit a double, and I get out when I went out because it looked like he was hurt. That was in Cleveland. He kept saying, "Skip, I thought it was out of the park. I thought it was out of the park." There was so much passion in our group that we didn't believe we lost in Cleveland, and they came back in '98 with this revenge on their mind, and wind up winning 125 if you count the postseason. It was unbelievable, and I was the beneficiary. I mean, they never got tired of winning.
Well, Herman scoops that. Joe, what do you think? Stay another half inning?
Sure, if you can deal with me.
Oh,
that was the quickest one we had all night.
Joe Torre hanging out with us. Yankees 3, Orioles nothing.
But suddenly he had this fire in his belly. Not that he didn't always have it, but it never showed up like that. But hell yeah, when I have a starting pitcher out there and he says, "I want to stay in," you've got it.
Yeah.
Especially, Coney was the toughest, because Coney, I remember going out in Cleveland in '98, and it was the postseason, and I went out and Manny Ramirez was the hitter, and he says, "I'll get this guy." And I left him in the game, and he got a pop-up, but I should have taken him at his word, because I let him pitch to Tomei. He hit a grand slam.
And we showed that on the air. It wasn't a cheap one either.
Yeah. And, in fact, Tomei thanked me at a dinner one night for leaving him in the game. But we had a big cushion, and, we did win the game. But Coney was remarkable. I've never seen a pitcher be able to will himself to do certain things. He came in the World Series in 2000 and gets Piazza on I think an 85-mile-an-hour fastball pop up to the second baseman. He just come in to pitch to one guy, and that was enough. But it was a special group. They never got tired of winning. They never admired what they had accomplished, because they didn't feel like they had stopped doing it. And that's the interesting part when you talk about repeating. And when you look at what the Red Sox did last year and how they played, a young club, an unselfish club, and played the way they played, and then to watch trying to go out there and repeat, it's not an easy thing to do.
It's very hard to do.
It's really a state of mind in a lot of situations, and I think Paul can talk to that. Coming in after you win a World Series, what's the thought process?
Well, I don't think, and you mentioned it, the disappointment of '97. I don't know if 98, 99, 2000 happened if you don't have that disappointment, because you never wanted to get back to that spot, because it's no fun. When the season ends, you just assume you're going back to the World Series, and when it doesn't happen, it's a reality that it can happen. It's over.
But, you know, I think we put that Super Bowl or the World Series on such a high plane that once you reach it, I think you allow yourself to exhale, and you really can't do that.
It was incredible how your group just did not and continued to win 4 and 5 years. Joe, how about Hall of Fame weekend? We just saw Mike Mussina. What was it like for you to see both Moose and, of course, Mariano go into the Hall of Fame?
It was a very proud time.
By the way, another hit for this guy.
Why not?
Shocker.
Why not? But, yeah, I mean, Moose, and then I had a third guy. You know, I had Lee Smith, who I had with the Cardinals. So I had 3 pitchers, and that tells me one thing: I'm getting old, and the fact that these guys are eligible for the Hall, although it took Lee Smith a little time. But I was happy for Moose because, again, he never attracts any attention, but when you look at his numbers, you really understand, how deserving he was. And of course, Mariano, I mean, he just couldn't wait for that day, man. He just felt, here I am, even though his first line was, why am I always last?
Yeah.
But it was really perfect. He's the best of all time, and the way pitching is right now, I don't think anybody is going to duplicate what he's done, especially in postseason. I mean, that's the trick here, is postseason.
Sanchez flies that to right, and maybe Santander was just trying to deke Urshela there, and he nearly did. Urshela just sliding back. Well, it's true. I mean, you look at those postseason numbers, a 0.70 ERA in the playoffs. It's silly.
It really is, and the fact that he had the perfect makeup for a relief pitcher. You have to turn the page. Even though he didn't have any negatives, I don't think it's really fair even to this day. We have playing like you play the Red Sox 18, 19 times. In Mariano, they finally, caught up to him, like in 2004, and it's so tough to keep facing the same team and keep throwing the same stuff. But he was remarkable. He was always ready to do it, and I remember I was wanting to take him out in 03 in that Game 7, but he wouldn't have it. It was sort of the quiet version of what Moose was yelling at me about.
It was just in Spanish. You didn't understand.
That's all. I didn't understand it. I said, nice going, and he said, thanks, I'm going to do some more. That type of thing.
The lowest postseason ERA in MLB history, a 0.70 earned run average. Joe Torre hanging out with us. Yankees a 3-0 lead, bottom of the third, 2 out, 1 on, and Torre staying alive. Joe, this group, you see with the 3 Hall of Famers this past weekend. I mean, what is the connection still like with all the guys who you won those World Series with here?
It's close, and Paul O'Neill, I know he's here. He said something to me. I remember. I don't know if you remember, about a year ago when we were in Robbie's office. He said, Skip, we don't talk to each other very often, but when we get together, it's just a special feeling, which it was. I mean, it was something more than just the day at the office. I mean, there was a tremendous feel for what we needed to do. And even though you may not have had dinner together in the evening, it was a respect that we had for each other that was very, very real. And that doesn't come very often, trust me.
I'll tell you, Ryan, you mentioned dinner. Now, Ryan's a high-end dinner guy, loves the wine and the dinner. Skip's got the guy
this is the man right here, right?
Absolutely.
That's when I was a player.
Yeah.
It was great going to Chicago. We only had day games at that time.
Torres smacks that into right center. Urshela will turn and go to third. Gleyber Torres has been on his first 2 plate appearances tonight.
Let's skip with Mariano breaking the unanimous. Don't you think that door has been open now, that there will be more to come?
Well, I think if if somebody decides that Derek Jeter doesn't belong on their ballot, you know, that person should be taken off. You know, being able to vote for the Hall of Fame. But yeah, Mariano. I mean, that was a no-doubter, and I think Derek will be the same. But yeah, I think, you know, things have changed, and I know there's been some talk about resentment of who, you know, like Harold Baines, for instance, this past year, you know. But when you see what Harold Baines, and I was on that committee that he was voted in, you know, if it wasn't for 2 work stoppages, he'd have been way over 3,000 hits. I mean, that was a no-brainer. But the fact of the matter is, and you know, Paul was that guy too, because George Steinbrenner gave Paul the Warrior title. You know, he was out there on one leg. I remember when I told him in '96, I called him in Atlanta, told him he wasn't going to play, and sent him back into the clubhouse, and he wasn't happy, but he took the news sadly, but didn't say anything. And I remember Don Zimmer was in the office with me when I called him in, I called Boggs in, I called Tino Martinez, told them they weren't playing. That particular game was Game 5 at that Pettit pitch, and Zim said to me, you know, he's been playing on one leg all year, talking about Paulie, and he says he deserves to play. I said, you know what, you're right. That didn't take a whole lot of wrist twisting for me, and I called him back in, Paul, and I said, executive privilege. I said, you're going to play. I changed my mind. And the same facial expression I had when I told him he wasn't playing was the same facial expression I got.
Talk about a change of emotions. I just got benched. Now I get to play in the World Series. I got one more favor, too, Skip. If you get on that committee, I'm still trying to get into Brookhaven High School Hall of Fame. If you can send it a good word before they go out of business.
I'll write a letter.
Thank you. Columbus, Ohio is a tough one.
And getting back to Game 5, he made the unbelievable catch in right center field to end the ball game, and that was an unbelievable game as far as emotions, and there it is.
No, this is one highlight when I still watch it. It still makes me nervous.
I was just hoping the ball didn't come out of your glove when you beat your glove against the wall over there.
It's the only thing I hit hard that night. I think I struck out 2 or 3 times.
Oh, it was a classic game, and there's the smack of the wall.
Boom. Yes, sir.
Better the wall than a cooler, right? I mean.
That's right. I just used to tell him, you break anything you want, but if you break a bone, I'm going to really gonna choke you.
Gregorius putting on a battle here. You know, Joe, I do want to make sure we remind the audience again that tonight is the Joe Torre Safe at Home Foundation Awareness Night. Joe's outstanding foundation was established in 2002, and since its founding has reached more than 100,000 children, provided over 35,000 counseling sessions. And for people who want to know more, they can go to joetorre.org as you and your wife Allie continue to do this tremendous work. And
we want to thank Ace and Erico tonight for making a $25,000 donation. We had a pregame on the field, which was very special. And you know, the more money we have, the more Margaret's Places we can open, and the more kids we can reach, and that's what it's all about. We have one in Cincinnati, by the way.
Is that right?
Yep.
I've been to a lot of those dinners, and I tell you, they're not just your everyday dinner. These are great events.
Gregorius lines that to center, and leaping to make the catch is Wilkerson. He tried to pull an O'Neill right there. No wall to slap, though. Joe, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and for everybody, make sure you go to joetorre.org.
Thanks so much, guys, for the time. Appreciate it. Nice being with you.
Nice having you. That's Joe Torre hanging out with us as Wilkerson ends the threat in the third. Number 1 app for Yankees baseball.
Ryan, I'll be with you in a minute here. I got a little confused. I put Joe Torre's headphones on. They just turned them off.
Hey, I get it.
Well, it happens, you know.
On the Audi scoreboard, 3-0 Yankees, top of the 4th. It's good reminiscing with Joe, isn't it?
It's just
As that ball's rifled deep to center field. Tauchman back, leaping, and that is gone. Anthony Santander goes yard, and the Orioles are on the board. It's a 3-1 game.
Off the bat, dead center field. I mean, no doubt about it. And if there is one thing, Germán, that you could talk about is he does give up some home runs. But you know what? There's not other numbers that really stand out as being negative. He's had a phenomenal year for the Yankees. Fastball right there, right in the wheelhouse.
Little Spider-Man attempt there from Tauchman.
You get up there and just hope you're in the right spot. Yeah, well, you're talking, going back to your point, there's not too many people that, and you've heard every player that's played for him have as much respect for a man as you do as Joe Torre. What he's been through, what he did, what he accomplished, and who he is. The best.
I mean, it just feels like every single one of you from those teams who talk about him look at him as, you know, either a father figure, an uncle, a grandpa, whatever it is, some sort of figure of incredible respect.
Respect, wisdom. His wonderful wife, Allie's joined in and doing wonderful things with him. I mean, he's just hadn't stepped away from the game. He still has his foot in it, and he still does amazing things. It's safe at home.
Renato Nunez struck out his first time up, and he drives that in the air to center and deep. Tauchman has room for this one on the track to make the catch for the first out. Germán had breezed through the first 3 innings. And Paul brought up the homers being, you know, the one thing you could look at with Germán and say, oh, you know, that number hasn't been great for him this season, and he has allowed the 4th most homers per 9 innings in the majors. Everything else has been pretty dynamite for Germán. Quickly ahead of Jace Peterson, 0-2.
Well, you talk about a pitcher having the year that he was having, and then all of a sudden, oh no, he's on the IL, and then what do you expect when he come back? He has been phenomenal. 6-0 since he's been back off the IL. Had 1 start in Minnesota. Other than that, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, if you take out that Minnesota start in which he allowed 8 runs, he's pitched to a 2.80 ERA since returning from the IL. And those other 6 starts. And beautiful off-speed delivery there that fans Peterson. 2 down. His ranks in the American League this season is tied for 1st in wins with Justin Verlander, 12th in opponents' average, 4th in opponents' on-base percentage, 8th in strikeout to walk ratio.
Well, you see that wins tied for 1st. He has the opportunity to be the first 16-game winner in the major leagues.
Broken bat, looper to second is caught by Torres, and that ends the inning. Nice bounce back for Germán after the homer from Santander. 3-1 through 3.5.
More. CC Sabathia threw a bullpen at about 3:30 this afternoon. You see Mike Harkey, also Andy Pettit in the frame. He was there watching, former teammate and friend of CC Sabathia. Both Sabathia and Pettit remain close, and Sabathia really credited Pettit with helping him change from a power pitcher to the pitcher he's become now, working with him on that cutter a lot. Obviously, a lot of good time spent between those two. But as far as Sabathia and coming back to this Yankees team, Aaron Boone said as long as he feels okay tomorrow, he is going to be slotted in the rotation at some point in time against the Indians, the upcoming series this weekend.
All right, Meredith, that's good news for the Yankees to get CC back in the rotation. Yankees have been going with 4 starters and using an opener. Audi scoreboard. Yankees a 3-1 lead on the Orioles. Maben drives that to right field. Santander just in front of the track makes the catch for the first out. You know, one thing we've seen with CC Sabathia as well is when he gets these extended periods of rest or just skipping one time through, he's come back and pitched very well.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll see veteran pitchers really buy into the off day and they get that extra time, and young guys really like to stay on a routine. So for you to say that, you know, he's made a really good adjustment of doing that.
Meredith talked about it as well. CC has such respect for Andy Pettitte, and he has been an incredible resource for CC over these last few years. I mean, Andy will try and give him feedback on, you know, almost every one of CC's starts. Andy doesn't catch all of them, but tries to watch as many as he can.
Andy Pettitte, his last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years in the major league was almost like a star pitcher and a pitching coach all in one. I mean, he helped that pitching staff so much, talked to so many people, understands how to pitch, how to make outs, and he was a pitcher that had to make some sort of an adjustment, you know, fastball cutter, and he learned to, you know, kind of fade the ball away, two-seamers away, so he did make some adjustments, but just understood how to play and obviously understood how to win.
You know, with Austin Romine up at the plate right now, he told CC and me some interesting stuff about Pettitte recently. He said when he first came up, and, you know, you're trying to learn how to catch a veteran pitcher and you're nervous as heck, and Andy would go to him with some questions, and he said he learned right away what it meant to be prepared or not for your starting pitcher. As Romine breaks his bat, but as his second hit of the game, he said Andy Pettitte was scary if you didn't have the right answers for him as his catcher, and he learned how to be properly ready to call a game for each pitcher based on how to cover his bases with catching Pettitte.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I mean, you watch a game on TV, you don't know what has gone on behind the scenes. I mean, it's the hour meeting on how to hit the pitcher, and it's the hour meeting for the pitcher how to get the hitters out, and it's a defensive thing. So there's so much preparation this day and age just to going into playing a game. It's not like going to the Sandlot, putting your uni on and just going out and playing. You know, there's a few other things. I mean, people got cards in their hats now and how to play here. I mean, Audrey even hands me lineup sheets now.
That's right.
We're so updated now.
It's really evolved, yeah. That one's called off the corner, and Tauchman wasn't so sure with good reason. It's 0-2. Tauchman, a rare hitless game yesterday. Sack game 2 of the doubleheader, went 0 for 4 in game 1. Yankees already with 7 hits tonight as they try and win their 15th straight against Baltimore. Tauchman serves that down the left field line, slicing into the stands. And the count is full on Mike Tauchman, who continues to have a high quality of at bat. Tauchman stays alive. Tauchman battling here against the lefty Means. Runner on first, one out. Another 3-2. He's low ball 4, and Tauchman works a walk.
Yeah, great at bat, no doubt about it.
Now a quick word from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet. No data caps, no contracts. Just faster speeds with better performance.
Well, Doug Brocail going to go back out and have a chat with John Means as DJ LeMahieu steps to the plate. Let's check out the Fios fast play of the game. It was the first pitch thrown by Means.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those get me over courtesy strikes. Well, oh well. Get me over 1-0 strike.
.446 feet later, it was 1-0 Yankees. And the Yankees with a 3-1 lead here in the fourth, threatening for more as Miguel Castro warms in the Orioles pen. LeMahieu now with 19 homers, 81 runs batted in this year, both career highs. Now LeMahieu could make a run at a Yankee record. 73 of his 81 ribbies have come in the leadoff spot. The Yankees record for most RBIs in the leadoff spot, Alfonso Soriano with 99 back in 2002. The most all-time from the leadoff spot, Charlie Blackmon, 103 in 2017. Darren Erstad had 102,000, and then it's Soriano's 99. And LeMahieu lines that to left, but it sinks right into the glove of a hopping Peterson for the second out.
That's a tough play off the end of the bat. The ball just like runs out of gas and just as a sinking line drive. And Peterson kind of loses his footing. Again, I mean, you put the ball in play. If you hit it at somebody, that's bad breaks. But LeMahieu, you just know when he comes to the plate, chances are he's going to hit it hard somewhere.
Here is Judge, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Aaron Boone saying before the game, Judge still working on some mechanical things, just trying to make a little tweak mechanically. Said at some point it's going to click, and when it clicks, buckle up.
Going to click hard, huh? He's hit 2 balls hard tonight. He's 0 for 2, but he's scalded 2 balls. It's just sometimes when you're going through this, you know, the frustration is being able to understand, hey, that was a good at bat. I hit the ball hard, because you want results. And, you know, it's much easier for me to see it from this angle than when you're down there going through it, believe me.
2 on, 2 out, a 2-0 count on Judge. Judge rips that to left field. That'll get down for a base hit and go to the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes Tauchman. He's headed home. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Aaron Judge, and the Yankees extend their lead. It's 5-1.
Well, big hit. Anytime you could drive in runs with 2 outs. Aaron Judge hits it off the end of the bat. The Chambers are loving it. And I'll tell you one thing, Mike Tauchman, much better base runner than you would think. I mean, he gets around these bases. He scores on this fairly easily, and that ball came off the wall. It could have been a very close play, but you watch. Once he gets it going, he's got some wheels.
Man, you ain't kidding. He was motoring around. You know, that actually used to be fun. It looks like it hurts now.
Judge will chase Means as the Orioles make the BioFreeze fast-acting pain relief pitching change. Aaron Judge, 3 years ago to the day, his first big league game, and bang. What a bomb in his first at bat in a moment that was electric here at Yankee Stadium.
You only get 1 shot in your life to do that, hit a home run on your first at bat. You know that?
That's right.
Not a lot of people do it either.
Him and Tyler Austin went back-to-back, and that was
The start of something. It was also before Judge went high socks.
Yeah, that's a good point. See how you're noticing things now?
Yeah, that's right. It's all this time I've been spending with you.
Yeah. Did I understand that you're not coming back tomorrow? You're just like leaving?
Yeah, I'm leaving you tomorrow.
You're not allowed to do that in the middle of the series.
Is that the rule?
What are you, like the teacher's pet or something? You can do whatever you want?
No. I think this is what happens with the extenuating circumstances of the assignment. Otherwise, I would have been here for you, Paul.
All right. Well, I'm going to slide Vinny over here. Vinny, get those vocal cords ready, all right?
Vinny's been waiting
all the
for his
reads.
chance over here, man. He's been ready. If it's any consolation, I'll miss you, Paul.
Nice.
It will be John Flaherty tomorrow with Paul O'Neill.
The old Irish booth. Flaherty O'Neill. How you like that? We're going to have Shamrocks floating around up here tomorrow.
That's good news. Urshela rips that to right center field. That ball's off the wall. Judge will trot home. Urshela stops at first. It's an RBI single for Gio Urshela, and the Yankees lead is 6-1.
Yeah, it's just good at bat after a good at bat. I mean, Urshela continues to just hammer the ball where it's pitched, drive in runs. 108 off the bat, ball away. Don't try to pull it, just shoot it to right center. Castro, when you watch this bullpen, and you see a lot of it against the Orioles, Castro is the one guy in my mind that really looks like he could become something. He fills out a little bit more, still throws hard. Got a good slider you see right there. He's one guy in that bullpen that kind of sticks out as becoming somebody that's going to have to be reckoned with.
Talking about our schedule, Paul, I mean, a lot of you listening may have read the good news that our buddy Michael Kay got clearance, and he will be back soon, so that's great news for all of us here at Yes. Working out the specifics of the schedule still, but Michael will be here soon, and that is good news.
He's already warned me that he owes me a few because I took a couple jabs while he was gone.
Yeah,
empty jabs where he couldn't come back. So
that's right. Well, you did call him like a hairy bear or something like that. Yeah,
he texted me the furry one.
Yeah, that's right. Furry is what you called him. Ooh, that one is behind Sanchez as Urshela's going to head to second.
Well, that didn't look good, but that was a slider. That was a breaking ball that came out of his hands and ended up behind him. Actually, a changeup. He turned it over. I'll tell you, whatever it is as a hitter, when you pick up that ball behind you, that's not a good feeling because your natural reaction is to kind of move back, and it usually ends up getting you.
Sanchez 0 for 2 so far tonight. Yankees offense continues to pulverize Orioles pitching. Averaging more than 8 runs a game in their 17 contests against the Orioles heading into this one. Sanchez rips that to left center field. That will get down and roll to the wall. Urshela will score. Gary Sanchez with a much-needed RBI double, and the Yankees lead is 7-1.
Some balls are just hit harder than others, and that was one of them. That was 97 mile-an-hour fastball and 106 off the bat. I mean, that ball was just smoke. You hit it off a Dunkin' sign. You feel like eating a donut up here, don't you?
I'm down with that.
I guess the advertising works, huh?
It really does. Knowing your poll, we'll have some strawberry frosted donuts up here shortly. Here's Torres. Torres grounds that to second. Alberto will throw him out, but the damage is done. The Yankees add 4 more. It's 7-1 after 4. Big time history for Chris Sale there, Bob. Thank you for sharing. Top of the 5th inning, 7-1. The Yankees lead the Orioles. And Domingo Germán has been dealing tonight.
He certainly has. A little quick update. 21 curveballs, 11 swing and misses, 5 strikeouts, 4 on the curveball. So he has curveball working. He's throwing a couple change up. He got a good fastball. He's locating all of them.
Lifted in the air to shallow left center. Tauchman there, 1 out. Now, one of the things that Aaron Boone, or one of the terms he used in the first couple starts after Germán came back from the IL, was pitch efficiency. And we're seeing that again tonight. Pitch count in really good shape here in the 5th with 1 out.
Yeah, you're really seeing the, with pitch counts and things like that, where, pitchers, if you get ahead 0-2, you're not wasting a lot of pitches, or you're trying not to, because you have to save pitches at some point, or you're going to be out in the 5th, 6th inning.
That ball is whacked deep to right field. Judge leaping, and it is gone. A solo shot for Stevie Wilkerson, and it's a 7-2 game.
Well, Aaron Judge goes back there, and every time he gets back to the wall with that 6-7 frame, you wonder if just out of his reach. Another good play by the fan, though, off the ricochet. Did everything right. Right into the lap. Yes. And it's a catch.
We went under the hood, and upon further review,
no,
it is a catch.
There
no, it is. There you go, Paul. Ready? Whoa, whoa. Yeah, she got it.
Her expression, it stuck. It didn't change.
That face is amazing. And that is low. First walk issued by Germán. Here's Jonathan Villar. Villar, a red-hot hitter, acquired in the Jonathan Schoop deal last July.
Yeah, Villar trying to accumulate 5 more home runs that would put him in that 2020 club. He's already hit the 20 stolen base mark.
He stole 62 back in 2016 with Milwaukee. Villar hits it hard, but right to Torres. On to Gregorius for 1, back to first. It's a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. 7-2 after 4.5. Yankees baseball brought to you in part by Delta Airlines, the airline with more new planes flying out of New York City. Delta, keep climbing. By Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. And by FW Webb, the official plumbing, heating, cooling, and PVF supplier to the New York Yankees. And the Orioles go back to the bullpen. Chandler Shepard Certainly struggled in the minor leagues, allowing 116 hits in 81 innings. But sometimes you just need an arm.
Well, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Wow. I could say, you know, you got to turn the page on some stuff. Turn your page on your minor league career and just make it here in the big leagues.
And this is his big league debut. Gregorius has doubled. And he's also scorched one to center that Wilkerson made a great leaping catch on. Didi lines that into shallow center. Wilkerson is there. One down. Now, Chandler Shepard, this is his second time getting called up this year. Was called up on July 30th, but did not get into a game and was sent back down the next day. They're getting another crack here. Well, speaking of pitcher roster moves, we saw a couple Yankee debuts yesterday, one major league debut, but those pitchers are no longer with us today, Meredith.
Joe Mantiply was designated for assignment. Brady Lail was optioned back to the minors. As we know, Jonathan Loaisiga was reinstated from the injured list, and Adonis Rosa selected to the 25-man roster. And I spoke a little bit with Jonathan Loaisiga before the game. He's a guy that is just excited to contribute in any way possible. Aaron Boone saying right now they're seeing him as a bullpen piece, a guy that can give them multiple innings or come in for just one inning. They like what they've seen from him at the AAA level, what he did when he was rehabbing. He did make some mechanical adjustments, but he's a guy that could come into play here in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big-time arm for sure.
His last outing, he was at 97, 98.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's coming back trying to find his fastball.
Paul, it's funny. If you look at the numbers when he was with the Rail Riders, or even last year, the strikeouts were there. But he had some trouble last year with walks, letting guys on, not being able to finish hitters. And he thinks the adjustments that he made, moving his hands from by his belt closer to his body to up a little bit more towards his chest, out a little further away, is going to help with some of the command issues that he had. Also, both times he pitched for the Rail Riders, he was the starter, but he pitched out of the stretch the whole time. So that's something else that he thinks might come into play.
And throwing 48 pitches his last time out, so I mean he could be
that a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. He could potentially be a bulk guy for the Yankees. And Meredith, you brought it up. I mean, we were just talking casually. You know, could he even end up being an option as an opener too?
You never know. That could be a possibility. While he hasn't done it in that capacity, he has worked as a starter, so he would be familiar in getting ready before the game and knowing what needs to be done in preparation going out there as the starter or the opener. But that is an arm that the Yankees really, really like. The question with Jonathan Loaisiga has always been, can he remain healthy? You wonder if you put him in the bullpen, maybe that's a way to keep him a little bit fresher and not put so many innings of work on his arm. Will that allow him to remain healthy?
Yeah, you do look at his body, and he's slender, and to withstand the torque of throwing the ball 97, 98.
Sometimes that can take a toll on you.
Be interesting to see how the Yankees deploy all these pieces if they get everyone back healthy at the same time. The 1-2 is in the dirt. Maben will scoot to second on the wild pitch.
I'm sure Aaron Boone would love to get him in a game, get him acclimated, see where he is pitching-wise, get a good read on him. This game, you could tack on a few more. It'd be a great opportunity to get him a couple innings.
Romine already 2 hits tonight. He flies that in the air to right field. Santander underneath it makes the catch. Maben goes back to tag and advances to third, 2 down. Fans, go to @YesNetwork on Twitter and vote for the Montefiore Doing More Player of the Week. Gio Urshela, Mike Tauchman, DJ LeMahieu, and Masahiro Tanaka are your choices. Maben on third, 2 down. Tauchman a walk his last time up. He is the 17th lowest chase rate in the majors. That is foul down the left field line.
He was at 300 yesterday, down to 292, but he has come a long way since his first stint here. The league's leading hitters from the All-Star break on, and a lot had to do early with him not being aggressive, going after pitches early in the count. You just have to trust yourself as a hitter. When you start thinking about, I have to swing at strikes, you almost wait too long and you force yourself. And you have to trust that, you know the strike zone. And if you're going to get a strike, you're going to hit it. And if it's a ball, you're going to take it. Because when you start thinking about staying within that strike zone, sometimes you freeze up and don't do anything.
The 2-2 is fouled back. Well, along those lines, a couple days ago, I was asking Aaron Boone, amidst the revelation that is Mike Tauchman, what's the latest in his evolution that you've seen? And he said just how consistently he is destroying fastballs and how aggressive he is with them now. Not afraid to let that A swing go. Good eye, and it's 3-2. Mayhew waits on deck. The payoff. Tauchman lines that to left field. It's down and fair into the corner. It'll roll around. Maben scores. Tauchman is headed for third. Perhaps ill-advised. It was. He is out. But it's a ribby double for the overzealous Tauchman.
Every time, once in a while, Little League, you just keep running till they tag you out. Well, Tauchman, that beautiful piece of hitting. Let me just keep talking. We'll go right to break, all right, man?
Next inning, Fargo.
Vermont continues with that good curveball, getting ahead in the count. Pitching to the scoreboard, a couple home runs, but other than that, been really, really good.
Solo shot by Wilkerson, solo shot by Santander, and that's it.
Who is he? Pepe Le Pew. That's who you are. I kept thinking, who does he sound like? It's Pepe Le Pew. For you little folks, look, Google Pepe Le Pew. He's a little French cat or something. What was he? Skunk.
He was a skunk.
Up close, right?
A skunk. Which is a synonym for a French cat, I guess. Oh, that's the Le Pew aspect of things. Oh man. Every time I say Santander, I look at you and you're smiling.
It went in one of those things. My wheels went off again. The man's like
those spinning
Pepe Le
wheels
Pew up here.
Swing and a miss. Good curve. One down.
Go ahead, give me his name. Let's go.
Anthony Santander.
There you go. You're right at home.
Was that Pepe Le Pew enough for you?
It's Santander to me, I guess.
Pepe Le Pew. Anthony has gone yard tonight. Good change up there from Herman. Loop to left. Maben nearly in his tracks. 2 down. Herman at just 79 pitches. 2 outs into the 6th.
Oh, we got a discrepancy here, Ryan.
Uh-oh.
78 on the scoreboard and 79 on our television scoreboard. Always trust yes.
That's right.
It's like when you get in traffic, never disobey Waze. You cannot.
Words to live by. Talkman got a great jump and puts it away. A tidy 1-2-3 6th for Domingo Herman. Exit Velocity presented by Spectrum Mobile. Best network, best devices, best value.
Wow, it started early, but we're going to see a whole bunch of really good at-bats, and we've talked about them tonight. The Yankees are putting together great at-bats and hitting the ball extremely hard. You see none of these on the screen, under 100 miles an hour. Gap to gap, home runs, big 2-out RBI situations. Yankees pretty much done it all offensively so far. 11 hits, 8 runs.
The Wells Fargo scoreboard, this bottom of the 6th inning. The Yankees an 8-2 lead on the Orioles. And the 6th inning is presented by Wells Fargo. 10 of the 11 Yankees hits 96 miles an hour or harder. That is
not too many cheap ones.
LeMahieu grounds that softly to short. VR waits, tosses, 1 down. Aaron Judge last time up. It's a good sign as he smoked a 2-run double.
Again, it's just Aaron Judge's ability to give himself 4 or 5 good at-bats every single night. Let's put it in perspective. He's 3 for 3 right now. He's 1 for 3 in the book, but he's 3 for 3 on good at-bats. He's hit the ball hard all 3 times.
His first at bat, he hit a rocket 115 miles an hour right at the third baseman Ruiz. That's called a strike, way off the plate. 1-1. Gets the call there as well. 2-2.
Yeah, tough at bat right here. 2-2, and you've seen two pitches just off the plate, and both of them called strikes. It's not a pitch that you really want to look at, and then you end up taking one.
We'll take a look at the league leaders presented by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. How about home runs in August in the American League? Gio Urshela tied atop the leaderboard with Jorge Soler and Gleyber Torres just behind them.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz, you were talking about it yesterday, was extremely hot. Not in the lineup now with Minnesota. Big part of their offense.
We saw him there a couple weeks ago. The Yankees were in town, and he just got locked in to a whole nother level and continued it afterwards with multiple 3-home-run games. Urshela hits another one hard and fair. It's another 3-hit game for Gio as he cruises into second with a 2-out double. This guy is ridiculous.
He's fun to watch right now. And again, you've seen up the middle, you've seen right center. Now you see one down the left field line. Why is it down the line? Because it's an off-speed pitch, but he stays on it. That's the ball you'll pull. Look at that in sequence. Gary Sanchez and Urshela have the same leg kick. Gary Sanchez wants to be Urshela. Look on the on-deck circle, Ryan, from the side. It was amazing how sequenced they are.
Sanchez kicks that leg and takes ball one. Here's what you're talking about, Paul.
Look at those two. Watch this. Right on time. Nice.
Tremendous pickup.
All of the details. Right?
I agree.
Little details.
Sanchez whistled a double to left center field. His last time up, drove in a run. Smoke to left field. That's a base hit. Urshela is going to hang on at third. Second hit of the game for Sanchez, and the Yankees have runners on the corners with 2 down as Ruiz took a seat.
Well, we just had a roll of a lot of hard hit balls, and you've had 2 more this inning. Gary Sanchez, another line drive to left field. Oh, hit too hard. Urshela can't score.
And Ruiz still a little shaken up after that, knocked him over. You see him kind of fiddling with that left groin area.
Just looking up at Urshela, this little hot streak that he's been going through. He is up to 337. So he does need to just work on getting some at bats.
Popped up into shallow right. Santander makes the catch to end the inning. At the end of 6, 8-2 Yankees. Subway, make it what you want. Then buy Buick. Experience the new Buick for yourself. This baby has made its way to the 7th inning. Yankees an 8-2 lead, and Domingo Germán has been dealing.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's had all 3 of his pitches, a few change-ups and good ones, but a good curveball, good fastball, good location.
Cadillac scoreboard.
This is a tough situation if you're Aaron Boone, and it has nothing to do with the score or anything. You've got a pitcher who's really dealing, Germán. Now, is it going to become a point in time where you have to save some innings? And this seems like this would be the perfect spot. Only 80 pitches, 82 pitches. You want to get Loaisiga in? Do you want to save some innings on him? Now that you're in a 5-6 run game. But you've got a guy that's, you just want to continue to build his confidence, and he's throwing the ball that well tonight. Thoughts? Come on.
You know what? It's a tough question because that's always a debate is, if you are going to limit innings, as Peterson holds up, do you do it by limiting the amount of pitches you throw within a start and the amount of innings you throw within a start, or do you do it just by skipping a guy a time or two? You put him in the bullpen for a period of time. That's grounded fair. Kicks off the wall. Maybe we'll get after it, but it's a double for Jace Peterson. Because we've seen in the past, sometimes the theory is, hey, if you're out there starting the game, I'm going to ride you like we would and evaluate you throughout the start as we would any other time.
Sure. And from a player standpoint, looking back, I would much rather have a shorter outing than skip a start or two, because if things are going well, you want to stay in the same routine. And if you skip a start or 2 starts or whatever, you don't know when you come back if you're going to have that same feel. And, he has been a couple home runs, been extremely sharp tonight.
Well, Meredith Marakovich told us in Toronto that Germán admitted as much, that he believed if all of a sudden he got off that every 5th day routine, it probably would mess with him a little bit. That is looped to second. Torres makes the catch. Brian Cashman pointed out a couple weeks ago that stint on the IL did help as far as the innings go with Domingo Germán.
I would, with that 10-day DL, I would not be surprised if managers in the future with young kids would use that strategically. Give a kid 10 days off in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
As a break and this and that. 10, 15 days is a big difference. In the old days being the 15-day DL.
David Cohn has always believed in that as well. The benefits of those mini breaks. That's ripped to right field. Judge coming on, makes the backhanded catch. 2 down.
Nice play.
And just to put sort of a bow on that, the Yankees have not yet committed to if they're going to have to pull Germán out of the rotation, put him in the bullpen. We're all now still waiting and seeing how this develops for Germán.
You can't help but pretty much being all of what he is. I mean, he's on the brink of being the major league pitcher with the most wins. It would be his 16th tonight. I mean, it's been a phenomenal year for him, and there has been a lot of run support. But I tell you what, there has been a lot of great starts throughout his year.
He has done for you essentially what you would have looked for from Luis Severino.
Oh, and run.
Yeah.
You take 16 wins from Severino at this point, you run with it.
Great changeup. 1-2. Adonis Rosa warming in the Yankee pen.
Oh, you got some more languages for me. You got the rolling of the tongue.
Yeah, we try and make it, You can roll the R's.
Just practicing for vacation. You're not fooling anybody.
Rocco. The 1-2. He got him. Wilkerson goes around. 7th strikeout for Germán, who pitches 7 beautiful innings. Yankees an 8-2 lead as we hang here for God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Army First Sergeant Ronald Patterson from Gloversville, New York, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom and has been awarded 2 Bronze Stars. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us as Yankee Stadium organist Paul Cartier plays God Bless America.
Jack, thank the game summary presented by your local Nissan dealer. Yankees an 8-2 lead. John Means lit up by the Bombers again. Domingo Germán terrific through 7 innings. And big days again for Gio Urshela and DJ LeMahieu. As Didi Gregorius leads off, it'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the Yankees order. Gregorius has doubled. He's also lined out to center field twice. And he taps that to second. Alberto will throw out Gregorius. 1 away. Let's go back to Bob Lorenz in our Yes Network studio. Yeah, bombs away for that. They call them the Bomba Squad. They have been incredible.
I mean, some teams have always hit home runs. It's just the way the organizations are built, and Minnesota Twins not being one of them. I mean, they have never really been a true power team. They're putting it together this year.
Cadillac scoreboard 8-2. Yankees in front. You're just seeing the way those games went at Target Field. If the Yankees were to beat them in the playoffs, those could be some entertaining games. That's hit hard right to short. 2 down. Chandler Shepard's done a nice job so far in his major league debut.
He's throwing strikes. He's had a couple balls hit hard at people, but you know what, as a manager, all you want to do is see a guy come in out of that bullpen and make the ball be put in play, throw strikes.
Romine with a 3-hit night. Austin Romine continues to produce at the dish.
Well, it's been one of those nights for the Yankees. That's their 14th hit. They've strung together some innings that have not been all about the home run. It's just been a lot of hits.
Paul, we were talking about Mike Tauchman and what he's done against the fastball, and Aaron Boone saying that's where he feels like he has really taken off. He is the 5th best batting average against 4-seam fastballs in the American League, hitting .372 against them. And slugging .744, which is 8th in the AL.
It is amazing because early in the year you'd see fastballs being thrown right by him. He has made an adjustment. He's become a little more aggressive. He's always been able to, you know, swing at strikes. So I think he kind of took the gloves off and said, you know what, I'm going to go after some pitches, and he has been a different player since he's been back. All around good player. Hitting the ball well, defensively. Every once in a while, he'll try to run to third when he shouldn't. But other than that, everything's been great tonight.
That happened on his RBI double last time up. And another base hit for Mike Tauchman as he smokes the laser to right. First and second, 2 out.
Well, right on cue, Ryan, a four-seam fastball out over the middle of the plate. And you're right, he just roped it to right field. If you're Shepard, this is not where you want to be. DJ LeMahieu up with runners in scoring position.
Talking about success with the four-seam fastball, DJ LeMahieu, first on that list in the AL, hitting .393 against them this year.
Urshela being hot, you look up at the lineup, they are tied right now. Obviously, LeMahieu many more at bats, but they're both hitting .337.
Urshela 3 hits tonight. LeMahieu with 1, a homer. One and two. Nine times a Yankee has won the AL batting title. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio twice, Snuffy Sternweiss.
Snuffy.
Yeah. Mickey Mantle, Don Mattingly, you, Paul.
Nice.
Bernie Williams. And that's the list.
And possibly going to add that 10th to it.
That's right.
Which is amazing. Never happened, right? American
Both leagues never has happened. Yeah.
That's impressive stuff.
Judge on deck. Three-two, 2 outs. Runners will be going. The pitch, and LeMahieu stays alive. The 3-2 is high, and the bases are loaded for Aaron Judge.
Well, this is one of those at-bats where Aaron Judge should get a really good pitch to hit. All depends on whether he hits it on the barrel or off the end of the bat.
Number 99.
A 2-run double in the 4th. He's 1 for 4 tonight. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. one career grand slam for Aaron Judge, who is a .308 hitter with the bases loaded. Judge rockets that to center field. Wilkerson is there. Judge hit it on the nose, but right at Wilkerson. Inning over. Yankees lead 8-2 after 7. Top of the 8th inning and the major league debut for Adonis Rosa.
I'll tell you what, Adonis looks like he's about 14 out there. Young.
I mean, he looks really young. He's actually 24 years old, but
he hides it well.
Hyundai scoreboard 8-2.
His last stint in AAA, he was really throwing the ball well.
0-2.
So we've had a lot of defensive tackles throw the last couple of days. We've seen a 72, a 73, 74. Like Merlin Olsen, Bob Lilly, guys like that, the old linemen.
Steve Rosa gives a quick look to third when he's in the middle of his motion. Yeah, he does.
Every pitcher has a spot that they want to pick up, and it always amazes me. Some pitchers stare at, where they're pitching. You could see guys staring inside. A lot of guys, their heads all over the place. A good way to start your career with a strikeout.
First big league strikeout for Adonis Rosa.
See, immediately Austin Romine threw the ball out. That'll be one Stevie Donahue will line up right on it. Didn't take long. Tape it up so you don't get it confused.
You mentioned his success recently. His last 3 starts with Scranton, a 1.69 ERA. Strong numbers. You're talking about the offensive lineman numbers for the guys coming up, Paul. The other day, CC Sabathia was telling a story of when he went into his first spring camp and he saw number 52 hanging up in his locker. Now, 52 wasn't a special number to him at all, but he said, you know what? They didn't give me something in the 70s or 80s.
Right.
I'm going to make the team. I'm keeping this number. And that's how he became number 52. He was just excited they gave him a number low enough that meant he probably was going to make the team. Grounded weakly to second. Torres circles, tosses, 2 down. Adonis was signed by the Yankees out of the Dominican Republic in 2013. Was a Florida State League All-Star with High A Tampa last year. Spent this season bouncing between AA Trenton and AAA Scranton. 3 stints with the Thunder, 4 with the Rail Riders, but it's this last one with AAA where he really threw the ball well. Hasn't pitched in 9 days, so he is well rested. And you see those numbers, impressive over 6 seasons in the minors. He is also the 3rd Adonis in Major League history.
Be a good trivia question.
That would be, right? Adonis Terry and Adonis Garcia are the others. Judge camps underneath it. A nice 1-2-3 inning for Adonis Rosa in his Major League debut. Urshela back. Three more hits for Gio Urshela tonight. You know, Paul, you've spent a lot of time over the last couple of days. We see the Hyundai scoreboard saying, hey, Gio is a guy who you love watching because he hits to all fields, kind of getting back to that style of hitting. And Aaron Boone was talking about him earlier today, and he said the Yankees always loved his bat-to-ball skills. Always thought it was there. And now that he's driving it more, he's getting results with those bat-to-ball skills. But that was one of the reasons why they were attracted to Gio Urshela. As he goes down looking, one away. Now after that inning from Adonis Rosa, he comes in, 1-2-3 inning in his major league debut. Very serious, very serious. Now he starts to crack the smile, seeing some of his buddies from the minors. And yeah, lets out a little more.
It's got to come out sooner or later. Believe me, you can't hold all that emotion in as a young kid. I got corrected from Stanford. This is a good point, but I got corrected.
Okay.
Bob Lorenz, all right,
yeah,
just sent me a text. I referenced Gleyber Torres being 22 years old reading the newspapers. 22-year-olds don't read newspapers. I stand corrected. Thank
Online
you, Bob.
edition.
I like that.
Isn't it, there is something crisp and wonderful about the paper in your hand,
still love
though,
it,
right?
I still love it. I mean, when I go on an airplane, right, you can download all the magazines you want on your iPad, right? But I still like holding a magazine.
Yeah.
There's just something about it.
That's the way I read books, too. I have a Kindle, but I like holding the book. Sanchez works a walk. He's on for the third time tonight. Gleyber Torres is going to get another shot here. He is 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a walk. He has been kept in the yard. I'm sure much to the delight of Gary Thorne.
He met me in the hall today. It was hilarious.
Torres drives that to left field off the end of the bat. It will stay in the yard as Peterson is there. Torres just missing that one. Didn't quite catch the barrel.
And his partner over there, Jim Palmer, this day in baseball history, threw a no-hitter. Jim Palmer there. I mean, he's got to be, what, in his early to mid-70s?
Still looks great, huh?
We'll all take that, right?
Absolutely.
It looks pretty good.
That head of hair. 73.
Sign up right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
73 look like that?
I would have signed up 5 years ago.
Didi, he is 1 for 4 tonight. Every single Yankee has a hit this evening.
It's a large party.
Big party. Didi scoops that to left. Peterson drifts and catches for the final out of the 8th. Let's take a listen to Gary Thorne calling Paul O'Neill's homer.
Love it. Hey, Norm. Hey, Lou. How are you?
That's a money call. Adonis Rosa going to try and lock down this Yankee win. An 8-2 lead. Top of the 9th inning. Major league debut for Rosa, who threw a 1-2-3/8. And the Yankees on the brink of winning another home series. Santander fouls that away. Paul, do you want to give the last name a whirl here? Pepe Le Pew?
You're so good at it, I'm just going to let you go out on a limb here and just finish up. Since you're not showing up tomorrow anyway.
That's right.
Get your money's worth.
I agree. Santander. On the backhand, LeMahieu tosses to Rosa, 1 down. After the final out, keep it right here for the WB Mason postgame as our studio team will have highlights, analysis, and clubhouse reaction from tonight's game. Plus, they'll get you ready for tomorrow's series finale only on ES. Rosa, 4 up, 4 down. Nice start to his major league debut. Renato Nunez 0 for 3. And one thing we've seen from the Yankees too is, you know, there's no playing down to the competition, no letdowns. They just keep smashing teams that they should.
You know, it's a great point, Ryan, because you're never, if you're on the Yankees, you never feel like you're playing a team that is better than you know, and so every single night you're out here to win another game. You remember Mariano Duncan, we play today, we win today. Basically, that's your mentality. I mean, it's not let's go win a series. That's what you always hear. Let's win today. And then when we win today, you know what? Let's go out and win again tomorrow.
Yankees have been doing a whole lot of that. The 1-2. And now a quick word from Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
Memorial Sloan Kettering has given Jessica the ability to live her life while undergoing her cancer treatment.
2-2 count on Renato Nunez. Cued foul.
I just keep looking at numbers, and you keep trying to add to, you know, what the Yankees have done. And, you know, just they're an out away from being 47-16 against the American League East. And there's no doubt that's why the Yankees are where they are in the standings.
Driven to center field and deep. Tauchman racing back, and that is gone. Renato Nunez, his 26th home run of the year, and it's an 8-3 game.
This is the one part of the game that's very hard for me to understand, how just it seems like everybody that comes to the plate can go dead center field. And center field used to be the place where only a couple guys in the lineup could reach. And now it's up and down the lineup, guys hitting at the center field like it's nothing. You see a little miss a target there, supposed to be up in the strike zone, end up down, just golfed it out.
Renato Nunez had a very productive season for Baltimore, 26 homers now. You know, talking about the Yankees and being off to this great start, Paul, you bring up the way they've beefed up against the division and great job they've done in the American League East. You know, they're on pace for 107 wins right now, as that smoked foul. In the expansion era, which is 1961 on, their best records through 120 games, 1998, they were 90-30. 1961, they had 79 wins. This year, 79 wins. This is one of their best 120 game starts in franchise history.
You can't take it for granted. It's just too hard to put teams together this day and age that can have good years. And you look at, I mean, talking about good year after good year, you look last year, they had a phenomenal year. Boston was just unbelievable, but Yankees are back in stride. A lot of people want to kind of, you know, compare them to 1998. And the one thing I look back at 98 is everybody had good years, but nobody got hurt. I mean, what they are doing this year with all the injuries, to me, has been amazing.
skied to left. Maben drifting onto the track, leaping, and makes the catch. Didn't have much to pat him when he finally hit that warning track.
Believe it or not, that actually hurts you. You kind of expect the wall to stop you, and then there's nothing there. He never did reach the wall with his hand. Then you come down and you expect it to kind of stop you, and you go straight down. It kind of jars you. The big thing is, you know, you catch the ball. Vinny, what are you laughing at over there? That's a hard play, man.
Two out, nobody on, 8-3, top of the ninth. And it's 2-0 on Hanser Alberto. The Yankees an out away from another series win. And with a win tonight, the Yankees would improve to 16-0-2 in their last 18 home series. This is their longest streak without a series loss at the new stadium.
And again, I mean, you just keep on throwing the accolade. I mean, it'll be another new high water mark above 500. I mean, it's just things are going well for the Yankees.
The 3-1. Lifted to right field. Judge over towards the line, and it's into the stands. Check on Judge, make sure he's okay after running into the side wall there.
Yeah, that's no fun. You know you're going to hit it, and you know that side wall, that doesn't give. That's solid. When you look at it, then you start to feel the dirt under your feet. You feel the concrete. Don't think about Judge. When he goes over the stands, look, half of the people wearing his number over there.
Crowd on its feet. The 3-2. Swing and a tip held on to by Romine, and that is the ball game. Adonis Rosa making his major league debut finishes off an 8-3 Yankee win.
Wow, it's exciting stuff for Rosa, but exciting stuff for the Yankees. 15 hits, 8 runs. Just another business as usual win over the Orioles.
A nice debut for Adonis Rosa. Win number 80 for the Yankees. A nice round number. The Yankees a new season high watermark of 39 games over 500. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment.